Hey, welcome everyone. If you're new to the stream, I'm Jared. I am a experienced Rubyist. I know at least 5 things about Ruby that you don't know, but you probably know 5 things I don't know, so we should trade. I run an agency called Super Good Software. We build e-commerce sites using Rails, using an engine called Solidus. But that is not what we're doing today. We are working on Advent of Code problems. I've been doing for the first 5 days, I did TCR, test commit revert, where every time I run my tests, my changes are thrown away if the tests don't pass, and committed if the tests do pass. But in the interests of actually getting through all the puzzles this year and focusing a little more on the puzzles going and their solutions from here on out, I am not going to be doing that. I'm just going to be just doing regular stuff. I might write some tests, might do some things, but I won't be doing the TCR thing. So I wrote a little blog post. You can find that on jarednorman.ca. It's my personal website. But that's all I have to say on that topic. Getting started here a little bit early because I want to update my test harness, the thing I've been using to not do the to skip the TCR stuff. Just run the tests and stuff. What else did I say? I've also been participating in a whiskey advent calendar that is put on by a local group called Whiskey Dev here in Victoria. They're great. Today's whiskey is something a little special, actually. It is this SMWS Petabix, and it is a Scottish whiskey from SMWS, which is like the Scottish something Whiskey Society, something like that. Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, yes. And one of the funny things they do is that they do not tell you where they're a bottler and not a distiller, and they do not tell you where the things they distill come from. It's believed that this one is Ardmore, but no one knows for sure. All we know is that it's from Distillery 66, whichever one that is, and that there were 144 casks, I believe is how that works. Number of casks from that distillery, yes. It is a very clear whiskey today. Don't know what that means. I honestly, I'm not a whiskey expert, but it tastes good. And kind of interesting. It's not. I technically actually have 2 glasses of whiskey. I hadn't finished the whiskey I started earlier. I was sitting beside the fire, so got some extra whiskey to get through on the stream. And with that, I am going to start poking around. So we got 25 minutes or so to get this up to date and working the way we want it to. You might also notice from previously that I've switched back to Solarized. You know what? I just really like Solarized Light, so we're back on it. Now, so the first thing, I'm going to remove any of the calls to commit. Anything that has to do with committing, it does not need to still exist. And same with this. It's been going well. Yeah, managed to get through all the first 5 days without any serious trouble. It was mostly fighting with doing the whole test commit revert thing than the puzzles themselves. I kind of like that we haven't had any puzzles that I've had to battle like the computational complexity of my approach yet. But I still look forward to the puzzles where I will. So, it's going good. Thanks for, putting on such a great thing every year. So, I got a trailing space here. Tempted to switch over to Minitest. Whether I can get that everything switched over in 25 minutes is another question. How do I want to do this? Well, let's commit that change. I'm sure that works. Well, I guess I can run it without committing anything now. Previously, every time I was testing this stuff, I was running into the fact that it would commit my changes even if I didn't want it to, the changes to the test runner itself. So let's say 2019. 2019. What's a puzzle? I guess I can just remove year 2019 because I don't actually have any real solutions in there. So let's run puzzle. This day 1, part 1. I need to / that. Failures. I expected that to generate it. Didn't I just delete all my 2019 puzzles? Modified. What am I missing? What did I just do that I don't understand that I did? Oh, I guess it rewrote it. Oh no, it's a generating day 1. Okay. Oh, undefined method commit. Okay, I'm just not reading what I'm doing. Commit. I missed one. Okay. So let's move 2019 again. Try that again. This time should work. Yeah. So I don't need to commit 2019. Move, get integration here. Nice. Now, do I want to do Minitest? Yes, we can. Oh, interesting. Just a sec, gotta fix something. Sorry about that. Just needed to reload my environment there. So we're gonna keep pry. We're gonna add Minitest to this. We need to bundle. Cool. And then. So I guess Need to make 2 changes. Need to fix my brand new day to use Minitest, and then switch the I guess we can just let's see this way. I guess I still need to be able to manually invoke Minitest, right? Because auto-run's going to try and run it after everything, I think. I guess I should try that. First, let's remove the RSpec stuff. One of the things I was encountering in previous days is that I just like wasn't super happy with just RSpec for this stuff. The way I wanted to write my tests was not the way you write tests in RSpec. So I was kind of, I don't know, not writing tests the way I write tests in a Rails app or something. And it just sort of felt like it was clashing. Like I should have just been using Minitest. I mean, you can write tests however you want, neither one, but that's how it felt, you know? Listen to your feelings. What do I do now? So I guess the question is manually invoke Minitest tests. Can I tell Minitest to just run without using Minitest auto run? Or I could probably just look at what Minitest auto run does, right? The source for Minitest is so easy to follow. Well, that's straightforward. Huh. That's pretty funny. All right. So we're gonna want to. We're using bundler require, so we don't need to manually require it. So then, where I would otherwise invoke RSpec, let's do that. See how that does. Looks like RSpec. What am I doing? Bundle exec ./ASC.IB 2019 1. Oh, right, my session cookie, which sadly for you all, I will keep secret. No submitting answers for me. Oh. Gotta be careful here. There we go. No such file or directory. Okay. Why am I not getting... Oh, right. When I would have generated it, would have 404'd, and my code doesn't like check for 404s or anything. So because the session cookie was missing, it just didn't work at all. Now I should have a day1.txt. Perfect. So the generate worked, and hey, that works too. However, it did not. I guess auto run. That's one of the things I was worried about. So auto run must exit the process when it's done. So we might need to do something slightly friendlier. So let's see if we can just guess where auto run is defined. Hopefully it's just in here, as you would expect. Auto run. Okay, so it, oh, sorry, no, I was wrong. It did print my solution. It just printed it before running the tests because no, minitest.run. That's easy. would like a new line here. Cool. That's straightforward. I'm going to require Minitest Pride to get those beautiful colors. There we go. Fabulous run. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, Jiggins, the fact that mine just like sets up the day. I always do the same where this part 2 inherits from the part 1, and then having it auto download the input is also really nice, because like having just like this thing that just like grabs the input and then I can dependency inject it with testing. You know, it's some nice sort of quick stuff. I know it's not what I think Jay Hawthorne's strategies, excuse me, are quite a bit different. Oh yeah, auto input download. The code for it is right here. That is the Ruby. It just uses NetHTTP, so you just need to require NetHTTP, and you have to give it your session cookie, which you can pull out of your browser, and then save it wherever you want it, whatever you want to do. But yeah, this goes on GitHub. You can steal it. Go for it. So I think this all works. One complaint is that I want this to be brighter. Terminal, escape, color, sequences. It's a decent way to do it. Hoth? Yeah, it makes it stand out a little better. That's better. Cool. Oop, didn't mean to commit. Whoop. Do Minitest instead. The Git history of all this is already garbage. As you can see from me doing each day, the TCR thing just generates a ton of noise, and then like testing it, and you know, I'm just padding my green tiles on GitHub with this thing. Well, I guess that ends today. This SNWS whiskey is delicious. Okay, then let's make this actually define a couple. Class part 1 test, and let's just double check. I don't write a ton of Minitest, admittedly, so it's like a Minitest cheat sheet I can bring up. If anyone has a Minitest cheat sheet, that would be, they recommend. Minitest test, yeah. I'm going to just prefix all the tests with part 1, new. Assert equal did I do wrong here? Oh, this isn't. The syntax highlighting is messing with me. It's because this is an ERB file, not because there's something wrong with what's happening here. So let's generate ourselves a day one from 2019. Uh-oh. I don't have an easy click to mute button for handling those sneezes. I don't know why I wrote assert equal to there. Oh, I see what I was doing. Whiskey's already helping me, you know? Cool. All right. All right. Add Minitest tests to template. All right, so we're ready to go. Thank you everyone for coming out. I think we're ready to go. 8 minutes to go. Lots of time. Don't know if there's anything. Minitest cheat sheet. Sure, Ruby Pigeon. So equal share. That might come in handy. We'll see. I don't know how many tests I'm going to write. I'm sort of giving up on the TDD TCR train that I'd been on previously. The first 5 days, I was doing test commit revert, where every single time I ran my tests, either if the test passed, the changes would be committed, or if the test failed, they'd be reverted, or like all of the uncommitted changes would be reverted. This time, from here on out, I'm just going to sort of do whatever. I've removed the TCR harness from my script that I'm using, just so I can focus more on the puzzles and the solutions, and because it's just sort of time consuming to force yourself to sort of find a way to test drive out every single change. I was holding myself not to using pry to debug things, and instead forcing myself to write move in smaller increments and test smaller pieces, and that's just time consuming, and I found myself really sort of cheating around it. Wasn't really worth the effort. But so we'll see. Maybe we can do today a little quicker than previously. Some of them only took me 20 minutes. The ones where I got more stuck took me a bit longer. One of them took about an hour. I think that was the validation one, where that was the one where I kind of, Jiggins, I don't think anyone out there is arguing that you should approach real work with TCR. Like you can do real work with TCR, but I think it's more of an exercise in forcing yourself to think about the increments in which you're developing the software in smaller and smaller pieces. And I wrote a little blog post that's up on my blog today, jarednorman.ca, on sort of what I got out of it. And what I got out of it was essentially, I found that there's something I know about writing software, which is that you don't need to get it right on the first try. I think most people who write software sort of understand that just because you're writing a line of code doesn't mean you're keeping that line of code. It might be just code to make a test pass now, and you're going to write another test that's going to change that code. But I found that, especially working on applications with slow to spin up test suites and stuff like that, I get really in the habit of trying to write the code that I'm going to end up with, and maybe thinking too far ahead and missing solutions that I might find if I moved in smaller steps and sort of took everything at face value in terms of what was in front of me. So I do think it was exactly like you say, a good exercise in sort of thinking about how you approach your work a little differently. But I am going to go crazy if I have to do all 25 days like this. I am going to step away because I need to blow my nose. I will be right back. All right, good luck, Jiggins. Three minutes left till blast off. I'm really excited today. I ordered many hundreds of stickers, of super good stickers of various different kinds. We had a agency, really talented designers basically do up our brand properly. We were programmer branding until we did that. Haven't rolled that out on our website, but it's on our social media and stuff. And got holographic stickers coming and all kinds of stickers. Very excited to slap those on the M1 MacBook Air when it gets here, which hopefully should be next week. Might try to do some of the puzzles on it, just for fun, especially if we get something computationally intensive. I'm pretty sure that I can run, I think should be able to run JRuby on it, which is usually what I do when I want to parallelize something. So might take a little fiddling to get that work, but I get that to work, but should be good. Minute left. Guess I can set up my editor here. Set ourselves up a little key binding, day 6, 1. As your flight approaches the regional airport where you'll switch to a much larger plane, customs declaration forms are distributed to the passengers. The form asks a series of 26 yes or no questions marked A through Z. Yes, we're in Canada here. All you need to do is identify the questions for which anyone in your group answers yes. Since your group is just you, this doesn't take very long. However, the person sitting next to you seems to be experiencing a language barrier and asks if you can help. For each of the people in their group, you write down the questions for which they answer yes, one per line. For example, in this group, there are 26 questions to which anyone answered yes, A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Duplicate answers to the same question don't count extra. Each question counts at most once. Makes sense? Another group asks for your help, then another, and eventually you've collected answers from every group on the plane. That's the puzzle input. Each group's answers are separated by a blank line, and within each group, each person's answers are on a single line. This list, okay, sure. This list represents answers from 5 groups. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this makes sense. The sum of these counts is 11. For each group, count the number of questions to which anyone answered yes. What is the sum of those counts? Okay. Seems relatively straightforward. Oops. 6, and the input. Cool. All right. So we can already write a test because we have a sample input and we know that the result is supposed to be 11. So toss that in there. We can assert, indent this so that it looks nice because, you know, we care about these things here. Expected 11, actual 0. Our result is our real result 0. Cool. So my quick switch to Minitest working all right. We can take our input, split that on double new lines to get all of the individual groups. Then we will map those through that something, and then we'll call sum on them. Just for the purpose of that, I'm going to put a 2 in there. Cool. That works to as I expect it to. So now I am going to split the group on new lines to get all of the individual lines within each of those, map those to the characters of those lines, and then convert it to a set and ask for the length. How do I make a set? Oh, I can flat map. I can flat map it to the... Is there like a 2 set? That would be nice. 2, no. Ruby set. And, oh no, there's a 2 set. Well, there you go. 2 set dot length. Boom, part 1 done. That was easy. So it's a lot easier when you don't have to write real tests and like test drive every change you make. As you finish the last group's customs declaration, you notice that you misread one word in the instruction. That's actually my standard approach to doing Advent of Code puzzles, is to misread them, at least one word. You don't need to identify the questions to which anyone answered yes. You need to identify the questions to which everyone answered yes. So using the same input as above, we should get 6. Okay. So that's trickier. Okay. Oh, I need to run the right side of the solution now. Run part 2. Okay, cool. Now, so that's the old solution. So within each one of these, we want all of the the ones where everyone says yes. It's the best way to do that. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I have an array that's like, oh, let's use the old shorthand here, A, B, 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 C, B, D, C. I can do count A on that and get the number of things in it. Yeah. So let's use that. So let's skip turning this into a set. So let's say we have a number of people, right? And the number of people is the number of these, right? Or also we'll use length. We're not in Rails land here. The number of people, group split, and length, yeah. And then I just need to know, in fact, we can even use this. So let's say, we'll just do lines equals group split. The new lines, we'll try and type better than we're doing now. I switched off of the cool keyboard behind me to a normal looking keyboard, and I'm still getting used to it. So we'll call them questions equals lines. So now we have, I think, all of everything we need, right? So queues dot select queue, and then we're going to take the length of this, but we only want queues where what I'm going to do is, if everyone answered A, then there's going to be the same number of A's as there are lines in the thing. So I'm going to select only the ones for which that is true. So all.count queue equals num people. I haven't run this one. I probably made some silly mistake, but oh no, the test passed, so I probably didn't. That's nice. Cool. Well, that was a quick one. Managed to solve that one in under 10 minutes. I guess that goes to show you that when I don't force difficult constraints upon myself, I can do these a little quicker. Thank you everyone for coming. I will be continuing to do this all the way up to Christmas. I encourage you to come swing by after you've completed the puzzle for yourself, if you are doing them, and help me out with them, or just follow along if you're not doing them. I'll be back again, usually kick things off around 8:45 Pacific, and just sort of chat before we get started. But Yeah, that's it. Thanks, everyone.